Even after the loss of Barrier Statue of Stormwinds, Flaunderies is still doing its thing. Hey, 34% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so we can climb up the 110,000 ladder here. So Road to the King has the breakdown for the top 10 results here out of the Master Duel meta. Now, this is going to actually put things in an interesting perspective for you. Grasshat Emancipator here came first place here. So this is your first place list here. Seeing that a 60 card variant was the deck that shined out of everything else out of this. Kind of surprising, actually. But I mean, Block Dragon is a fantastic card. They still have, you know, one of the Meow Meow, which you should have guessed that, like, the hybrid build would actually get the chance to take off. And, of course, when you have 3 Grass Looks Greener, when everything else in your format is the way it is, I am not surprised to see that the nice, you know, polished turd got the chance to do well out here. You gotta love grass decks, man. They really do their stuff. Second place here is Flaunderies. You notice that there is not a single Barrier Statue in this, because Barrier Statue is gone now. They no longer... I mean, yeah, Barrier Statue is good, but we're still in a 1-out-of-1 format. You know what this deck does? All right, it still sets up N-Pen, which they only play 1 N-Pen, by the way. And they're also playing evenly matched in the deck as an equalizer as well. In terms of what this deck is aimed to do, its generalized game plan, and all of that fun, fancy stuff, I'm not surprised to see that this is still getting the chance to do its thing. I mean, 1-out-of-1 format is a different sort of ballpark for sure, but this honestly puts an interesting spin on things, that if you're climbing the ladder right now, that you can still play Flounder and you can still get away with some of the more chaotic things out here. Now, we also have Flounderies down here in 3rd place as well. So Flounder not only got 2nd, it got 3rd as well. All right, you're going to see a little bit of a similar game plan here, but this one is playing, we're actually playing the discard fodder that searches for the castle of whatever. Okay, we're playing 1 M-Pen. I guess M-Pen just kind of a little bit of a detriment at this point in time, which I understand cutting it. That way you don't have to deal with it being so much of a brick. I mean, technically 1 M-Pen should be good enough in 1-out-of-1 format that you set up and you establish your job. So, good stuff on that. Alright, honestly, there's not a lot of other, like, craziness that really sticks out to me, because I guess, like, the Jack in the Hand here sticks out a little bit, but I'm not surprised that it did well. 4th place here, Runic. Okay, so for those of you that have been playing Master Duel, I have heard your complaints. I have heard that you guys really, really hate this deck. And I get it, alright? In a vacuum of 1-out-of-1 format, with triple card demise and, you know, mono Awado, yeah, this deck, I understand, is an annoyance. Like, what did the other decks actually play that could out this? The answer is it's not a fun time, especially when you get Rivalry and TC Boo. That's probably going to be enough. I actually expect the card demise is going to get limited because of this deck, or we're going to see. I've already said that I think Runic Tip is going to get limited because of this deck, but we'll see how many people want to prove me wrong. I also like the rank 4 shenanigans we're actually playing down here, like the Silent Honor Arc and things like that. So good stuff to actually see that Runic really pulled it together for this event and got a chance to shine. All right, now 5th place here is another grass deck. This is Grass branded Despia. So 2 Grass Looks Greener decks tore through the competition for this. All right, I guess when Grass is at 3, I have a feeling that they're probably going to clean Grass up here on a future list, because it doesn't make sense for them, now that they have this data, that they wouldn't want to look at Grass and go, you know, maybe this card is a little bit too much at this point in time. Especially, I mean, when you're just making as much free advantage off of this as you can, you know, especially with Fairy Tale Snow running around in this game. Yeah, there's not really much else to really discuss. Like I said, I'm surprised that 2 Grass Looks Greener decks kind of got the chance to peek through and do well here. Now, 6th place here actually played 2 decks. The first deck that they actually played here was Virtual World. And I will tell you that this is the first time in a very long time that I have seen Virtual World get the chance to do anything. This deck has had a lot of issues in it itself, but honestly getting the chance to climb the ladder with this and have this deck play Spell Canceller as well is actually kind of impressive. This is going to be one of the first duels that actually played a multiple set of decks to climb through Top Cut with this, which is actually pretty cool. So adventure, good stuff for sure. And then we also played Grass Adamantipator down here as well. Do keep in mind that you do have this very good card legal. Because Brilliant Fusion is legal, you get access to make the Zirconia, which gives you some additional rock dumping options for this deck. To be perfectly honest with you, seeing the hodgepodge moving pieces that make this deck even actually function is absolutely amazing. So now you're at 3 grass decks here that had success out of this weekend. And to answer the question, I've said the Meow Meow Mew at 1 is still going to be a problem even at this point, and I was correct on my assumption that that card is just kind of redonkulous. All right, like it facilitates such crazy combo lines that it is a little bit unfair at certain points to watch it just take off. And once again, I'm not really surprised. Oh, wow, we have another Adamantipator deck down here. This was another dual sword deck. This one is actually playing the Earth Barrier statue. I'm sick. We were actually playing Drought. Well, technically, I mean, if you have access to it, why would you not play it, right? Like, makes perfect sense. Another case of Meow Meow Mew down here, getting the chance to shine. This deck still does the same combo lines that it's very notorious for. I don't really have much else to say, but man, oh man, this is a good example as to why Brilliant Fusion, Block Dragon, and Meow Meow Mew should probably not be back in any of our formats. And then, of course, this duel's also played Runic. Some of the big things you're going to note here. This one's not playing Maxi like the previous one we saw. Still playing triple copies of this busted card. And we're also playing 2 copies of Skill Drain. I do personally think the inclusion of Skill Drain in this deck is actually kind of free real estate. I mean, 2 Mono Awados get you access to the Crazy Box. And, you know, obviously underneath Skill Drain, you'll be able to do some pretty interesting little plays with that, but you're still doing mill-out simulator things, drawing up teen cards, whatever free advantage chicken nuggies that you're really generating out of this will be good enough. 8th place down here, oh boy, it's another Flaunderies list. Now this one tells me a little bit of a different story than what we've seen. This build played double N-Pen, which, okay. And then, of course, there's the triple dimension shifter that all of us TCG players really have come to know and love. This build was playing 1 DD Crow. I will say a lot of these builds have tacked out a lot of other things. And then, of course, this build is focusing on double evenly matched, which I think is fine. Evenly is just going to be one of those amazing equalizers, because you already saw some of the other builds were playing 1. I just feel like in the case of it's like you just played the 1 because of 1 out of 1 format to have it be your equalize factor. 9th place here we had another Flaunderies list. Oh boy. The Flaunderies domination, like we all thought that Stormwinds was the annoying issue out here. No, I still can't believe that we might have actually been wrong with this. At the fact that this deck has just got the chance to do its thing. This build's playing 1 N-Pen here with the 1 Mega Ryza, and of course we're still playing Advent. It's, man, the consistency that this deck has going for itself is so crazy. And in 10th place down here was our first like Sword Soul list. You know, Sword Soul looked like a really good challenger for quite some time for this. I see we're playing double Long Yun, playing the 1 Rebirth spell card, which is fine. We're not still doing crazy 10-yi stuff. Yeah, the only real thing that's kind of out of the blue here is like we're playing Exoton Knight, but I feel like that's like just as an equalizer option here. And then we also have their branded Despia list here. Double Albion is fine. This is semi-limited, which is no surprise. This, if you want my honest opinion, this feels very, very, very standardized for this. So that is everything that we got out of this event. Real big things to take away from this. Adamantipator's crazy with that. Grass looks greener. It is crazy to see that Flaunderies is a monster in this format, like an absolute crazy mad lad of a deck. And I'm not surprised by these results, but I am curious to see how this will impact the future of the game. So please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.